Hey guys, so these are my latest pickups. You've seen a few of these in a couple of the other videos. Some of these you have not seen. So I'm going to talk you through a little bit of testing. So a few people asked me about testing methods, and you'll see here we have the very small scale. And by that I mean like a small denomination. So it goes down to 3 decimal places. I have a number of sovereigns here which we'll look at in a moment. And I also have the gauge and the old antique balance in the background there. So back in the day, people used these, and this would measure your weight, your diameter of a full sovereign and a half sovereign, and also it would measure the thickness. So just for example, if I use this one here, we can pop it into the gauge and it will balance eventually. Obviously, if it was to tip too far down like this, the coin would be too heavy. If the balance tipped this way, bottomed out, obviously it would be too light. Now, if it didn't fit in there in the first place, then obviously it's the wrong diameter. Like this won't fit in the half because it's a full. And then finally, I'll just show you the gauge there. It will drop through there. Now mine is a tiny bit bent, if you can quite see there, but like I say, the coins will drop through, but it is just a little bit of a distortion there. Like I say, I bought it more as an ornament, an antique, and just out of interest really, rather than, you know, as a serious piece of testing equipment. However, these scales here are what I tend to use the most. I do have another set of scales, which is 2 decimal places, but that will weigh up to 200 grams. So this set of scales only weighs to 50 grams. And if you think an ounce of gold is 32 grams, so that is more than enough to weigh an ounce. Now, my other scales came with this, which is a testing weight and also a calibration weight. So you can calibrate your scales with that. Make sure they're obviously reading as they should. So that weight, like I say, it came from the other scale, but here it is today. So it comes with this little dish. I'm going to pop that on there and then tear the scale, which means you're going to zero it. So now it's measuring 0. Just to show you there the reflection of the light. There we go. And this sovereign, let's just have a quick look at it first. It is a shield sovereign, 1856, quite good detail, not very worn. Pretty good condition, to be honest, that one. And bit of toning. Like I say, nice detail. From looking at a lot of sovereigns, I know this is relatively nice. So a sovereign could be just under 8 grams, like 7.99, 7.98, something like that. So I've teared it, which is why it's showing a minus number, because it's the weight of this dish plus the sovereign. So I'm expecting it to be at least 7.9, probably 7.98, maybe somewhere along there, maybe a little bit higher. 7.973, so I was, what, points, was a 700th of a gram off, not too bad. Next I'm going to look through here, and I'm just going to pick a little bit of a more worn one. So I got an 1843, I think it was. Not that one, that's a 55. Let's try this pile here. And I think that might be it there. Yeah, here we go. So this is an 1843. Now, the 1840s are a long time ago. These sovereigns were circulated. Looks a bit worse there on the camera than it does in real life. Like it's not bad condition at all. But if we look closely, I'll just compare the one we just looked at with this one. Now you'll see there is just a bit less detail. So if you look in the middle of the shield on this one, you'll see it is slightly worn there compared to the one on the left. People with a loop would look at the lion's faces. So I just mentioned a loop. That is just like a little magnifier, and that is another good thing to use for your testing. Obviously the wrong way around there. So yeah, looking very closely. If you saw my video on the half sovereigns recently, like this one, the loop was quite a vital thing to look at. So this one is a bit more worn. I'd expect it to be 7.9 still, but it might be, you know, at the lower end there. 7.952. So still pretty good. Like I say, for that kind of a reign in time, not bad. This is a more modern Gillick Sovereign from the 50s. So this is going to be pretty close to 8 grams, like very, very close, I would have thought. And 7.99, yeah. So they shouldn't be a lot over 8 grams, like some of the more modern ones tend to be a bit heavier. But if you're getting an old Victoria that's over 8 grams, I'd be intrigued, especially if it's got wear. So this one, moderate wear, but not bad, not terrible. It seemed like it had a bit less wear than that 1840, but somewhere sort of similar. And 7.94. So if you get into like the 7.8s, then they're going to be showing quite a bit of wear. So with the scales, they're very cheap, they're very accessible, everyone can buy them, they don't cost a lot of money, and it's very simple. You obviously tear it if you're going to put something on there. You'll measure your weight, and what you can do is do it a couple of times if you're not sure. It's quite simple, non-invasive, you don't have to damage your coins or anything to weigh them. It does prove a bit difficult weighing slabs. Perhaps someone knows the weight of a slab and could take a look. But like I say, it's non-invasive, it's cheap, and it's pretty accurate and repeatable. So you could do a lot of coins relatively quickly. And for that reason, I would use weight, but I wouldn't just use one test on its own ever. Now, what I mainly do, instead of using the loop, I just use the camera on super macro mode, and I'll just look through my phone screen, using the camera to zoom in on the coin under a good light, and that will give me a nice look at all the detail. The advantage of that, you can obviously film that as well, record it so you can look at it later, and you can also take photos so you can have your stills there as well. So yeah, the two new coins that were in this lot were the 1843, and I got an 1882, I think it was, and then I also got an 1883 and an 1873. So the 73 and the 83 were, and 1870 as well. The 1870 is the date that I needed. 1883 was a duplicate date. 73 was a duplicate date, and yeah, there's the 1882. So pretty nice condition. Looking at the hair, good detail there, and a nice coin. So what you want to do is make sure that the wear on the coin is congruent with the weight on the scale. So if you're getting a heavy coin, it should have all the detail there. There shouldn't be detail missing, if it's a coin that is, weighing up there. If it's a very light coin, you'll get a feel for what light means after testing a few. But if it's a very light coin, and you're obviously filming here, just trying to squeeze everything in. But yeah, if it's a very light coin and you're seeing, no wear at all, then you should probably be concerned as well. Now, that's to say, the scales, nice and cheap. The loop, again, a couple of pounds, and that will spot most things. Or, like I said, you could just use the phone camera, presuming you have a camera phone already. And yeah, use a good light, you'll be able to see much better. So, I also have one of these, which is a Sigma Precious Metals Verifier. They're around about £1,000, not sure what they are in the US. Maybe, I don't know, someone could shout that in the comments if they know though. So yeah, not cheap, but compared to the value of a 6-figure gold stack, it's not that expensive, and I could probably sell this and wouldn't really lose any money on it either. But for me, it was just good for peace of mind, and quite interested really. So we have pre-settings on here. Basically, we can look at pure gold, so your 4 9s, 3 9s fine. We can look at 22 karat gold coins like the sovereigns. You've got American Eagles. I've got a preset. Krugerrands have, and then there's some other things like different Britannias and so on. You can also do silver. Now, I haven't got any gold 1 ounce coins, but I do have a silver Brit here just to show you. So this circle here, you can measure silver with. If it's a 1 ounce coin, you can just pop it straight on there. You can go through capsules. We'll just do a quick test here for you to see. So I've got the wand plugged in, so if I just take the wand out, we just have to do that again. So we've got silver here, ready to place the sample, and surprise, surprise, this little square is going to be in the brackets there. If it was outside of the brackets, then the metal is suspicious, basically, would need further investigation. Isn't as it should be. Now, I've got this little wand here, which is a bit more precise. The reason I've got that is because you have to use different settings for different metals. And here we have a gold alloy, because gold sovereigns are 22 carat. They're not pure gold. So they're quite, it depends on the thickness as well. They're quite thin. They're 1.5 mm thick. So we just need to, make sure we have the right settings on here. So the only thing with the Sigma, if you're looking at getting one, great if you're collecting the 1 ounce coins, eagles and things like that, Britannias. The only thing with sovereigns, they don't have their own pre-setting, but this does, this does cover it. But it would be nice to see sovereign setting on there. So the next thing I would usually do, like I say, it's non-invasive, it's quite easy to do, but I've just got a bit of glare there, so I'll pop this onto here, and let me just struggling for room. Where's the reflection? There it is. And basically we'll see the square or the circle, whatever you want to call that, inside the brackets. So you can, if you were like moving it off the coin, you can see it's jumping off the edge there. But into the thickest part of the coin there, we have a nice reading. So it doesn't guarantee it's a genuine sovereign. It could be a fake sovereign. It could be a counterfeit sovereign made with the real gold content to perhaps fool a collector and make a really rare mint mark. But yeah, it's just one other test you can do. So this is a more modern Gillick sovereign, and again, I'm pretty happy with that. It's a coin I'm happy with, but we'll just show you on there as well. So right into the middle. Now I'm on the gold setting, so if I were to come along with something that isn't gold, like this is obviously silver. I'll pop it here, we'll test it, we should see the reading. See, it's got that left hand arrow there, just here. It's way off the scale, so unfortunately this 100 gram bar isn't made of 22 karat gold, or it's not consistent with it. So anyway, it's a bit of wizardry in there. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but you can have a look on their website if you're interested. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but if they do want to sponsor me with a couple of those, perhaps even send me one to give away on the channel, that would be pretty cool. So if anyone from Sigma is watching, well, let me know. But yeah, those are the methods I use for most of my testing. But the main one really is check the weight and look at the coin in detail. So some bullion dealers won't use the Sigma, some will use an XRF machine. You're looking about £15,000 for a good one of those though. Is it something I could justify? It's just not worth it. The benefit of them, yeah, you can read the content of some metals, but the cost, it's just easier for me to go to a bullion dealer and just pay them a little bit, give them a bit of beer money, buy them a drink or something, and get my coins tested that way if there was something I was unsure about. So that's one of the reasons I like sovereigns, and by focusing on one coin in particular, I get to learn about the coin, I get to learn what the coin should look like, what they should weigh, what they should act like with all the different tests. So that for me is quite a benefit. Like I say, if you're buying just American Gold Eagles or Buffaloes, you're going to have a pretty good eye for them if you've looked closely at them for a lot of time. I like to take detailed photos of mine, and these videos obviously help me as well. So I can look quite closely, I can compare the detail, and just see it on a big screen. It's nice and easy. So that is my video for today. So yeah, we've got a couple more shield dates off as I record the video. They might not be coming out in order, but as I record the video, we've got about 14 shield dates left. I realise I might get to a sticking point there eventually, but we'll talk about that on another video. Thanks for watching, see you soon.